Hello and welcome. This has been a video request by Zednotzee. He's requested quite a few videos in the past, so thanks again. This video, I don't like negative videos that much, but this video, bearing on his recommendation, his suggestion, I thought I would need to fulfill that anyway, seeing as I've done a best of 2013 knives. Now, his suggestion was, can you do a worst of 2013, the ones that we can avoid as a community. Well, these knives aren't really bad. They're just, it's difficult to say, but they're just personal preferences, in I was a bit let down with them. Now, if you've seen my Knives Hall of Shame video, that goes to help with this video, really, put it that way. But the knives this year I was really a little bit let down with. We'll start with one of them. Start with this one. Now, CRKT, I like the company. I hold them in a higher regard than Kershaw, but this CRKT Ma razor, I saw some nice reviews of it, but when I got it, I was just a bit let down. It's a cool looking knife, don't get me wrong, but that's about as far as it goes. It's cool looking, and if you like this kind of shape, and it's quite comfortable, I suppose. But the execution, in terms of, well, I got this knife and it was squeaky. You probably can't. Is that picking it up? Probably. But anyway, that's already set me off. And so I took it all apart, lubed it up, cleaned it, took everything apart of it, and tried to get that squeak out. Just couldn't. And then I used it quite heavily, and I noticed the blade play. It moves about from side to side all over the place, and I think one of the reasons is because, well, I don't think that handle is that long, really, but it's just the blade is so thin at the tip, and I don't think there's a lot helping there, backing it up, and the liner is pretty thin anyway, and you've got this extra lock, which all it does is it just puts another bit of metal between the liner and, and it's we're talking a very small bit of help there, but even with the lock, that doesn't stop it wobbling about. And whenever I'm hard using it on cardboard or boxes or whatever, especially there's so much play. And I've tightened it up really, really strong, and I just can't get it to. I don't feel safe using it, put it that way. I mean, there are plenty of other knives, like the Pole Force, where I just know I can use the crap out of it and not come to any harm, and it will do the job and all the rest of it. But this knife, I just didn't feel that safe. It's a lovely looking knife, well, I think anyway. I like the design, but well, I say the design, yeah, just the looks of it, really, not the execution. But yeah, it just doesn't feel solid enough to me. So that's one of the worst knives of 2013 for me. But maybe I'm just being really picky. Anyway, sorry CRKT. And another one is another CRKT. I'm not against CRKT by any means. And you might have got this knife and you might have been perfectly happy with it. Alright, and it's like video games or movies, personal taste, but just for me personally, I didn't feel that this was worth, you've got to remember, guys, this is like £120 here, or £110, so that's that $150, $160 here in the UK, and I just did not feel that it reflected that price. But I'm not saying CRKT are bad by any means, because I love the Swindle. That's one of my best knives of 2013. You've seen my top knives, and this is one of them. I absolutely love this knife. I love the point. I love the ball bearing system. I love the price of it. It's not that expensive, and I think you can get 2 of these, maybe 3 of these for one of them. So yeah, anyway, so I just thought I'd get that in there to offset the negative. So the second one has to be this Liang Ma. I know a lot of people love it, you know, I'm not knocking you at all, I just couldn't get on with it. I thought it just a silly design, and people like Yo-Yo Boy, he has modified his and it is a usable working knife, and it does look pretty decent. If only CRKT had, or Liang Ma himself had looked at the designs and gone that one step further, then he too would have been able to make a very decent entry to penetrate the UK knife market, because honestly I can't see many knives coming close to the Spyderco. I really can't. Even if they have bumped up the price to £50 of them, you just can't come close. It's a nice blade shape, spear point, strong spear grind, or sabre grind, sorry, and it's got okay gym pin, but that's about as far as it goes. The gym pin isn't there where you'd put your thumb, it's back there, and if you're going to put any force there at all, because of the mechanism in there, it just disengages. Pocket clip's quite decent, and I like the pillars and the smooth G10, but again, this isn't necessarily, well, is it bad? I mean, this is the point of this video. I kind of say it would, because you can't deploy the knife. And yeah, people have modified theirs, but you can't deploy it. You have to normally use your 2 hands. You can't, that's just, for me, I mean, look, thumb there, done. It's as simple as that. Here, and I'm not a complete numpty when it comes to opening knives. It's not like this is my second knife. So yeah, it's just one of the worst ones this year for me, really. So yeah, what's that? Almost £200 I could have put towards something else. But anyway, enough with the negativity, because CRKT did do a good job with the swindle, and they've got a number of other fixed blades that they brought out, which are also very good. Leads me on to the third one. So already it's quite a decent, you know what I'm holding. You guys who know me, you know what I'm holding. If you can fit it in one hand, you know. It leads me on to this. I've only really got 3 worst knives 2013. There are a few that have rusted slightly, and there are a few that could have been slightly better, but these are probably the worst 3, and this is the last one. The SOG Micron. I just can't shift this. 15 quid. So what, $25–30? Come on, seriously? Sort your pricing out, SOG. It's embarrassing. But 15 quid for this. It's just not very sharp at all. It's very thin and flimsy. It's got next to no support there. It's Tanto, and it's got gym pin on it. I mean, yeah, so this was another big disappointment 2013. But yeah, it's good in a way. I'm turning this video on its head, because these are just my preferences, and for this it's way too expensive, and it's diddly squat, and that's made, you know, well, made extremely cheaply. So that's probably, say, one to avoid. This one, there are other knives you might want to have a look at. Look at people's reviews on this. If you want a knife that you want to invest a load of time in modifying and making it, you know, really nice, this does give you those options. But you're still paying, at the end of the day, the same as a knife that is, you know, proven. And this isn't a CRKT versus Spyderco, that would be silly. It's just, you need to take these things into account. And then finally this one, again with the pricing issue and just what you get, and you know, whether you're going to use it a lot as a beater, so a beater knife. But anyway, so that's a good thing in a way that there's only 3, because most of them, like my Spydercos, Benchmades, even the Kershaws, I would have put the Cryo in there because of all of its rust issues, which my friend said that he didn't have any rust issues, by the way. But there we go. So maybe they're not all like that. But Kershaw didn't really, there's not that many at all really there. And Spyderco, notice there's no Spydercos in this list. So it's good in a way that there was only about three or so that didn't really fulfill my expectations, or I found them to be worser knives than the ones that I bought this year. That's good that there's only that many, because it means that I do my research, I do my homework when it comes to knife reviews, and I think that's what you've got to do. It's your money, you're spending your money, you've got to do a lot of research before you part with your money. Is my best tip really, because these things are a bit of an investment, and you want to buy things to last really, if you can, and not have to just throw them away. But anyway, that's what I'm going to leave you with. They were my worst knives of this year. If you've got any worse knives you want to share, I think Zednotzee said his CRKT Edgy, I don't think that was very good, but his slip joint one was very good. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions of which was your worst knife or worst knives, put them on my Facebook, Twitter, or just send me a private message and I'll make sure to read them and comment about them in my next knife or gear review. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Wish you a very happy new year. Thanks again for watching. Take care.